what is a foodie? Would you consider yourself a foodie?
I think I said it would be subjective, but yes, sure.
Okay, so okay, this is interesting. All right, so you'd say you're a foodie.
Maybe there's like levels to it, I'd say.
Okay, so what would you constitute as a foodie? I have a very strong point about this one, and I'm just like, that's why you said that, because everyone I know is like, I'm a foodie, I'm a foodie, I'm a foodie, and I'm like, no, you're just picky. So it's like, so like people who have said this, I won't name names, but they're like, oh, I'm a foodie, and I'm like, oh, want to try this? I'm like, no, I only like good food. You're like, okay, so you're picky. You just want good food, or you want a specific type of food, right? So for me, I think a foodie is just like, what does it taste like? And I'm open to trying different things, because that's more of like, and you're looking at the nuances in the food. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think if you have a restriction, like there's certain things I wouldn't eat. Like I couldn't eat the freaking the spider. I just it was gross.
Right,
And, like,
right.
the scorpion, couldn't do it. But like I've eaten so many different types of like animals, like frog, guinea pig, pigeon, snake. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah,
for
yeah,
me,
yeah.
that's like I'm thinking, oh, that's more of a foodie. And like even if it's like a bad
Oh.
experience, it's like, well, I got to try the food. I'm like, what are you making? What are these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like experientially going through it. But I think when people say they're foodies, I think it's really just like you're just super picky. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Or they're just like
I'll give you an example.
just
I'll give you
general,
an
just
example.
they're just like eating, or
No, you're picky about the things that touch your palate.
Okay, I
But I
gotcha.
think a foodie is not. But I think a foodie is not picky.
Okay.
They're just like, what is this?
right.
So like, I think people that describe themselves as foodie is like, I want this, whereas a real foodie is, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
You know
That's
what I mean? Like,
that's what I was
one's
saying.
close,
There should be levels to it, I guess.
but I wouldn't call it
Tiers.
a foodie though. But I would just say picky. It's like
Yeah, again, that's what I'm saying. It's definition, right? So
that's why I want to ask you, because like
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh, I'm a foodie. I'm like, I don't know. I
Well,
don't
what do
think
you mean
people-
by
I don't think
foodie?
people are.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What is
But
that?
people are like,
What
I
did-
just want good food, and you're like, look. So for example, so like I won't outright name this, but like we were like eating this really good. How do I say it without giving it away? We were eating this really good type of meat. Alright, it's like very good, and they're like, oh, I was expecting this kind of flavor, and I was like, oh, just go. But then like, then why are we here? So we get that flavor.
right.
But that's not a foodie then. That's just you're picky about your food.
Mhm.
You're like, I'm
I see.
eating this, but I wanted it to taste like this.
Right.
So you're not really trying the food. You're thinking about what you really wanted,
Mhm.
which seems more picky to me. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you agree with my definition?
Yeah.
Okay. Or it's like people are like, I'm a foodie, I love donuts. And you're like, no, you just like donuts, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. But
It's
that's
like
what I'm saying. It's the
foodie that, like,
subjective
tastes.
nature.
Foodie
We,
that, like-
I don't think we've got a universal standard of what foodie means. We have a subjective
Oh, I
standard of
see.
what foodie means.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then I would say I like trying food versus I like food. That's
yeah,
the difference.
that's difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, trying food, I don't think most people would fit in that category.
That's what I mean. And it's like, but then you don't really like food.
Right.
You don't really like food. You just like your foods.
Sure.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's now understanding what the definition of that means. It's more like defining it.
No, totally. I just thought it was interesting. It came up and I was like, I'm a foodie. I'm like, technically not. Like, what's that guy? Who's the guy who traveled around the world? He died.
Died.
He's like so famous. Traveled around the world. He's a chef.
Oh, Anthony Bourdain?
Dude, thank you. Foodie. Just go, like, when I watched his show, like, Parts Unknown, you're trying anything, bro.
Yeah.
That's a real foodie.
Right.
But, like-
Yeah. I've seen that too. Where like some people are like, I would never do that, which is like street food or Indian street food. I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, I would do that if it was clean.
No, I know,
I
but
wouldn't
I'm
eat-
saying
I
like it
would
doesn't
just sit with
matter.
my ass on it.
No, but still, I wouldn't trust anything of it, right?
No facts. Yeah, totally.
So it's just like, but there are people that do it. I was like, okay, you're crazy.
Wait, sometimes, all right, last thing, and then we'll wrap up because I am cognizant of time. Uh, but I think it's also because I was like, I wouldn't eat any street food. Okay. So we are on this trip in Egypt, and then we were talking to our she was like our personal guide.
Mm.
Like we hired her for the day. She drove us around, and she's like talking to us about like this type of drink that's very famous there. And I'm like, oh, I've never tried it. And she's like, oh, really? So she told the driver to park the car. She hopped out, came back with 2 drinks, and I was like, damn, bro, I gotta eat this because I'm gonna be a dick if I don't eat
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
She
yeah,
like
yeah,
paid for
yeah.
her own money, and then I got a parasite, and I was like, well, but it's like when you're like, oh, I would never eat it. It's like sometimes you have to eat it though. Like I could not be like, no.
No, I
Not
but
imagine that happened to
but you
you.
were
Would you
put
be
in
like,
there.
no? Like she like got with her own money and she came back. She's so excited, like try this, so good. I was like, okay,
No, I think I would
okay.
always. I think my thing's always generally like, is it safe, or like
That
somehow.
was the first. No, no, that was the. I was like, I'm gonna get hepatitis. All right, this is how I get hepatitis. Here we go. No, I was thinking the same thing as you, but it's like I feel like sometimes you just can't say no.
Hmm. No, I understand that. Yeah, 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 of course, but it depends on
Or if
how.
you said
It
no, I'd be
depends
like,
on
you're great,
it
bro.
depends on how jerky you want to
Jump.
be. But yeah, I don't want to get
Yeah.
sick.
There's Joey L, the photographer, who like I always think about when I travel and stuff, and like that exactly happened to him. He was like taking photos of this like a baba, like a spiritual homeless person, and the person invited him back to his thing, like, oh, like I would love to cook you food because you took my photo, right? And then all the people that were with him, they're like, oh, I'm not eating this, and then Joey was like, I don't want to be
You
rude, so
have
he
to.
started eating
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but they're like, bro, he washed his hand in the same water that you're eating right now.
yeah.
They were just like,
No,
don't do
like
it.
that
And he got
reminds me
super.
of. Yeah, 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 that reminds me of Itchy Boots too, right? Because there was
Yes.
one of her stops where she's like it's getting too dark. I have to stay at this village, but they had to like ask the village elder, and then they offered her their delicacies, and that's like caterpillars. I was like,
They're like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
yeah, yeah.
But I think that was built from travel though, like to
But
be a
yeah, I wouldn't
foodie.
be in that
Like,
situation, in that sense, right?
yeah, right, right. And I'm like the way I travel is more like rougher. I'm not. It's definitely not itchy boot style, but like
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's more trying to ingrain in the culture. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I ate the pigeon. Like you guys are serving pigeon in Egypt. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting though. Pigeon and it's so bad. Probably the worst thing I've ever eaten was guinea pig because the flesh always tastes like what it eats, and they were just feeding this guinea pig
Right,
garbage,
right,
bro.
right,
And I was like, this is so gross.
right.
It was just like oily and just tastes like trash. But that's a foodie. That's what I'm saying. It's like you gotta
Mm.
be open.
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, of course. Have you done
All right,
the
anyway.
escargot?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. But that was like a delicacy. People were like loving that back in the day, like the
Oh,
French delicacy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because you ate that.
No, I didn't have that.
Oh, you didn't eat that?
I
Oh,
never. I'm
okay.
not gonna eat that. But I had a stingray though. That was weird.
Philippines?
No,
Oh,
in
okay.
Paris.
Oh, okay. Because my cousin made stingray. They caught it on the beach, and he's like, "You want to try it?" I was like, "Sure." I thought it was the same
Right.
time we
No, no,
both
no, no,
went.
no, no. No, this one I had it
Oh.
in Paris.
Oh, so it must have been like legit. It was like cooked to legit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because when my cousin did it, he was literally just like frying it. I was like, okay. But like you had like an actual stingray meal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. It was
How was
weird.
it?
I didn't like it.
Honestly, most of the time I don't like any of the food I try either. I was like, it's there. Let's try it. This is disgusting. Like that's always my experience
Mm,
after. And they're like, it's a delicacy. And you're like, no, it's just what you have
right.
around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. All right. So last thing, what's the weirdest thing you've eaten?
Weirdest thing. Yeah, it would be the stingray.
Stingray. All right. Would you ever try dog?
Would I? Nah.
I would. I would.
I'm not a foodie in that sense. In your subjective sense. Yeah. or in your
I'm just like,
definition,
why are you
whatever.
eating? It's like, why are you eating it, bro? Like, is it good? Oftentimes
That
it's
just
not. Oftentimes it's not.
that just reminded me
Not good.
too. It was funny. I think in Korea they were trying to ban dog meat, and all these dog
Oh, really?
farmers came out to protest it because they sell dog meat.
Dog what?
Dog meat.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. But I think you can get really sick through certain foods. Like, I've heard of like trichinosis. So that's the only bad part about trying a bunch of different foods. Like, there's like parasites that can stay in the meat even if it's cooked, and then we eat it, it just goes in you. A little freaky. I think there's something with
What I
dogs
don't
too,
know
like
what.
rabies.
Oh yeah. Maybe yeah. It depends on how they're. I guess, but I think maybe that's why there's only general foods that are like the
Yeah, like
standard.
cow,
Right?
pig.
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
chicken, right? Those are the ones that are. These are the most general meat that everybody eats.
Or eat it.
That
You
doesn't
know, it's
have, I
funny. You're
guess.
like, but it's funny because it's like maybe I'm the only idiot because the commerce has already told you what the tastiest meats are, which are like you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
pig meat or
Goat,
what is
lamb, and
beef meat?
stuff.
Yeah, chicken. Like we know these are good. Stop trying these weird ones, bro. There's a reason why they're not everywhere. Like
True,
why
true,
isn't
true.
guinea pig taken off? You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.